Hi guys, my name is Brooke Kuberski and I am from Garnet Valley, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from here. My majors are early childhood education and special education. Courses I'm interested in are education courses because, of course, I'm going to be a teacher, so I better be interested in education courses. And I also enjoy psychology courses. Jobs and volunteer experiences in the past and present. Well, I'm currently a educational support coach for CLS, which I love. In the past, ever since I was, I think, around 14, I was a waitress at a pizza place down the beach, and then I went on to be a redemption counter person, so basically at an arcade. So when the people would bring up their tickets, I would count them and then give the little kids prizes. That was a lot of fun. I was a hostess during summertime as well. I worked at a tanning salon at a front desk, and I babysit a lot. I babysat kids from newborn to age about probably 10. And I also volunteer to hang out and socialize with a young lady back at home who has special needs. What I like to do for fun and relaxation. For relaxation, I really enjoy doing yoga and meditation. And I like to exercise a lot. And sometimes when I'm really stressed out, I like to go for a car ride. For some reason, it really calms me down. For fun, I like to watch Netflix a lot. I like to go to the mall with friends. I like to go out to eat with friends, get my nails done, girly stuff like that. And that's about it. Other activities in which I participate on campus, on or off campus, I go to the gym, which is an activity to me, and I am a part of a meditation group back at home. Clubs and organizations that I'm involved in. I'm currently involved in CLS and Study Buddies, and next year I plan to probably add about 1 or 2 more clubs onto my resume. A reason why I want to be a part of Career and Life Studies. I feel that it is a great program, and I love to help others be successful and fulfill their potential to the fullest. Why I think I would be a good coach is because I have lots of good advice. I have worked with students who have disabilities prior to coming to Millersville. I feel that I work very well with them, and I also feel that I'm a very good leader and motivator. Some processes to use when supporting a student. The first process on this sheet is to get connected and form relationships. So basically, to help a student get connected and form relationships, I would do a multitude of things. First, I would encourage them to follow their, I think it's like a Millersville University, and it's like their class. Follow that page, communicate with people on that Facebook page, because that's a good way to meet new people. You can go to events with your coach, like the club fairs or job fairs. Go to they have activities in the SMAC on like Friday and Saturday nights, movies, stuff like that. I would take my students to things like that to form relationships. I would also come up with conversation starters to start conversations with people in class and encourage them to basically just talk to people who are in classes and maybe just sitting in the SMAC. If a student was to be struggling with interpersonal relationships, I would first sit down with them and assess the situation and listen to them explain to me what the actual situation is. And then from there, I would come up with a multi-step process in order to fix their problem. I would also maybe tell them similar experiences that I've been in and tell them what I've done, and maybe that would help them to be successful as well. If a student was struggling with a personal issue that was either emotional or school-related, I would probably have them talk to me about it first, and I would provide to them my best advice. If it was an emotional issue or the student was feeling sad or upset about something or stressed out, I would really encourage them to go to the counseling services. If a student is having difficulties organizing day-to-day events and coursework. Okay, so I would basically encourage the student to have a few different places to put their assignments and events in. So I do this because I sometimes have trouble organizing myself. But I put stuff in my planner, my phone, and on my wall calendar in my room. That really helps me to emphasize what I actually have to do and when I need to do it. I also make priority lists, which I would encourage students to do as well. So, put number 1 at the top. Maybe you have a project to do. Number 2, you have a discussion post to do. The bigger assignments come first, and then the smaller assignments come last. I would help students to become a member of the learning community by strongly encouraging them to take courses that they are interested in and helping them with that process by weighing out the pros and cons of each course and looking further into the course to see what it is all about. I would also encourage them to join clubs by taking them to club fairs, and that's really it. And then if a student is having difficulty with an employer or supervisor, I would first sit down and listen to the student explain to me what the problem is. Then I would encourage the student to contact the employer or supervisor with my help if they needed it, and to address the situation. And then the next step I would take if, the student is either having trouble telling the employer the problem is I would suggest having a meeting with me, the student, and the coach to really get down to the nitty-gritty situation. A time I had to advocate for myself. Probably I'd say when I stepped on to campus, I had no clue what I was supposed to do. I didn't know, how to get to class. Well, I knew how to get to class, but I didn't know, what I was supposed to wear, what I was supposed to act like, stuff like that. And I also had to figure out, when should I go to the grocery store to get more groceries? When should I make time to study? When should I make time to eat dinner, eat lunch, eat breakfast? So I finally figured that out by advocating for myself. My process to support a student to advocate in obtaining appropriate accommodations and modifications in the classroom. So, first, I would sit down with the student and ask them, what modifications or accommodations do you need? And I would write down a list of the things that student wanted or needed. And then I would suggest to them either setting up a meeting by emailing the professor, and I would help that student by writing out a professional email to the professor to show respect. And then, once that meeting was set up, I would probably, if the student wanted me to, I would go to the meeting with the student, and if the student had trouble telling the professor what they wanted or needed accommodation-wise, I would then step in and help the student explain to the professor. I'm really excited to become a returning coach in the fall of 2016, and I hope you enjoyed my video.